trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta up-price for y'all. Snake eyes and dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hay. I'm broken the ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls, I'm flipping the all record, I still count wins when they got it. All record, I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. All record deals. Tell them Chuck the collar for the quote. All record, I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record.
With me today, we're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh. Specific answer. They're learning quick.
Can we Google it?
Whatever. Okay. He's a quick study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
Here. I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Find your passion. Find your people. Find your purpose. Find your superior.
And an abbreviated pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce with locations in Superior, Poplar, Solon Springs, Esco, Hermantown, Hibbing, and Duluth. Make more possible with National Bank of Commerce, member FDIC. Alongside my production engineer, Alicia Schultowski, this is Matt Johnson, coming to you live from Mertz Mortarelli Gymnasium, where the Yellow Jackets returning home to host the 2025 Stinger Classic, sponsored by Subway. Yellow Jackets will be hosting 10 matches over the next 2 days, taking place on 2 courts here at Mertz Mortarelli Gymnasium. The full schedule, by the way, for all the matches over these next 2 days will be on uwsyellowjackets.com, so to keep track of that on that website. In the meantime, as for the Yellow Jackets, they finished up play at the UW Lacrosse Invitational last Saturday by splitting 2 matches, first defeating St. Norbert 3-1 before falling to host UW Lacrosse 3-1. Both of those matches were played at Mitchell Hall in Lacrosse. Against the Green Knights, the Yellow Jackets emerged victorious by set scores of 25-23, 19-25, 25-23, and 25-17. For the match, the Yellow Jackets hitting 105 in what was a defensive-minded contest between UWS and St. Norbert. They were led by Caitlin Jones, who had 11 kills, while McKenna Holbein added 10 kills and 9 digs. Colleen Claude and Gabby Schwartz, meanwhile, combined to add 29 assists for UWS on that 6-2 attack formation for Coach Lynn Diedrich. Savannah Herring, meanwhile, defensively for the Yellow Jacket, the Superior native, had 18 digs defensively. Then in the final match of that tournament for the Yellow Jackets, they fell against the host Eagles by set scores of 20-25, 25-13, 16-25, and 19-25. For the match, the Yellow Jackets hitting 191 as a team against Lacrosse, and were led again by Holbein, who had a double-double with 15 kills and 11 digs. Jones also within a double-double of 10 kills and 10 digs, while Colleen Claude and Gabby Schwartz, combined for 40 assists. Defensively, Savannah Herring again leading the way for the Yellow Jackets with 19 digs, and she was named UMAC Defensive Player of the Week for her efforts. Meanwhile, Concordia, Moorhead, who the Yellow Jackets will play here in the first match of the 2025 Singer Classic, comes into this contest at 2-5 overall. Faith Rodermacher in her 7th season at the helm of the Clobbers program. They split 2 matches at the Concordia Triangular on Saturday. That was played at Memorial Auditorium in Moorhead, Minnesota. The Clobbers opened the day with a 3-1 loss on that day to UW Stout, one of the participants, by the way, this weekend here at the Singer Classic, by set scores of 25-27, 25-18, 17-25, and 21-25. For the match against the Blue Devils, Concordia hitting 079 as a team and were led offensively by Kayla Saylor, who had 16 kills and 9 digs. Annie Horan, meanwhile, had 12 kills and 8 digs, while Betsy Schlitz dished out 39 assists from the center position. Defensively, the Clobbers were led by Kelsey Martini with 12 digs, while Becca Woody and Holland Federer each contributed 11 digs as well. And then in their final match of the Triangular, the Clobbers topping North Central University out of Minneapolis 3-0 by set scores of 25-14, 25-19, and 25-13. In that match, the Clobbers hitting 192 as a team and limited the Rams to negative 075 hitting for the match. Offensively, Concordia was paced by Saylor and Horan with 9 kills apiece. Schultz, dished out 24 assists while also leading the way defensively with 9 digs. So that gives you a quick update on where the 2 teams are at here heading into match number 1 of the 2025 Singer Classic, sponsored by Subway. And with that being the case, we'll take a couple-minute break and then come back and throw things courtside for an introduction of the 2 teams playing in the national anthem, and then eventually the opening serve of match number 1 of the 2025 Stinger Classic between the Yellow Jackets and Concordia. That's coming up in just a few minutes, so stick around for that. This is UWS Women's Volleyball on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.
presented by Subway. We will have a total of 5 matches across 2 courts today. On court 2 at 5 p.m., the first match will feature the UW Stout Blue Devils and the St. Scholastica Saints. And on court 1, the first match features Concordia College Cobbers and your University of Wisconsin Superior Yellow Jackets. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise and face the flag if you are able. Fans, kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now let day 1 of the 2025 Subway Stinger Classic begin.
So national anthem has been played. The situation here for the 2025 day 1 anyway. Stinger Classic has been announced by our public address announcer Ryan Castaneda, and we're moments away from getting this one underway between the Yellow Jackets and Concordia. A couple of series notes between these two before we get the opening serve. Sponsored by Barker's Island Inn. The two teams have played 4 times all time, with the series split at 2-2 since their first matchup back on October 26th of 2002. The Yellow Jackets have taken each of the last 2 matchups, including a 3-1 victory over the Cobbers on September 9th of 2023 here at the Mertz. In that matchup, UWS won by set scores of 25-22. 19-25, 25-19, and 25-19. UWS was led by Mayana Stark with 15 kills, while Sydney Smith and Kaylin Plouts had 11 and 10 kills, respectively. The Cobbers, meanwhile, were led by Brooke Carney with 14 kills, while Mallory Leitner had 13 more. For the Cobbers, Yellow Jackets in their home gold jerseys here for match number 1 of the 2025 Stinger Classic, presented by Subway. The Cobbers in the maroon jerseys. And as I say that, we're just about ready to get this one underway between UWS and Concordia. UWS looks like they will actually serve first here. Colleen Claude for UWS, one of the seniors on this squad for Coach Lynn Diedrich in her 23rd season at the helm of the UWS program. Will serve first, and we're moments away from getting this one underway. Thank you for joining us here for the Stinger Classic as Colleen Claude steps up. And the opening serve sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's getaway. Island getaway is taken, and the first swing is blocked out of play by UWS. Kill for the Cobbers. They side out, and they lead it 1-0 here. For Concordia, Kelsey Martini is going to go back and serve here, with the Cobbers having sided out on the first serve of the contest. And her serve to the back line. Savannah Herring for UWS. Claude popping it up near side, going cross court on the swing as Kate Jamsgard for the Yellow Jackets dug out. Now sent back over. Yellow Jackets with another shot at it here. Now sent over by UWS's Sydney Bader to the outside. Here's a swing taken by Mary Leitner. That was tipped at the net. Now Sydney Smith for the Yellow Jackets. Check it. It's one of the newcomers for the Yellow Jackets, Phillips, who gets a swing on it, and then it is sent back by the Cobbers. They get the kill, and they lead it by the score of 2-0. Chesney Phillip getting the start. 6'3" junior from Jacksonville, North Carolina for UWS, number 20 in gold. As Martini serve is received by Bader. The Jackets at the plate over for a free ball. Kayla Saylor now, and then sent back over for Concordia. Claude back set. Here's Jamgard on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Kate Jamgard gets UWS on the board with the side out, and it's 2-1. And now the Yellow Jackets will sub in. It looks like Coral Cook, sophomore from Toronto, Wisconsin's going to come in, and she will serve with a 2-1 score in favor of Concordia here early going. Best 3 out of 5. As here's the serve now. Played over, rolled over there by Saylor. UWS Claude to the outside. Here's the swing, and that one tipped at the net. The kill is for McKenna Holbein for UWS, the sophomore from Holdingford, Minnesota. Ties it up at 2 apiece. Cook will continue to serve here for the Yellow Jackets. And here's her serve to the back. Played over now. Saylor, Herring, bumping it near side. Here's Holbein. Dugout back row now by Saylor. Free ball to the Jackets again. Now to the outside. Here's Jamgard on the swing. Saylor on the dig. That outside by Shields. Swing taken by Annie Horan. Tipped at the net. Now Horan. Holbein. Sydney Smith for the Jackets. And they're going to call a lift on the Jackets here on that play. Side out goes back to Concordia. And Rebecca Woody is in to serve now for the Cobbers. 5'6", sophomore from Farmington, Minnesota. And here's her serve. Catches the tape. Falls down for an ace, and the Cobbers double the lead. They're up now 4-2. Woody again, this time into the net. Under-hit it. Side out Yellow Jackets. Now Sydney Smith comes in. She replaces Chesney Phillip. And now Savannah Herring, the sophomore from right here in Superior, will go back and serve it for UWS. And she'll get an ace out of it. Miscommunication by Holland Fitterer. And also the backline player Kelsey Martini leads to the ace. 4 apiece here for Herring as she serves it up again. Martini, they bump it to the outside. Now sent over by Saylor. Dug out by Colleen Claude for the Yellow Jackets. To the outside now on the high swing by Kate Jamgard. Smith trying to put it down alongside Jamgard. Now pushed over, and it will find the sideline on the far side. Kill for Kayla Saylor. And it is 5-4. Now Concordia back in the lead as Horan, 6-foot freshman from Moorhead, Minnesota, goes back to serve. Cook for the Yellow Jackets. Herring bumping it outside. Now here's Holbein on the swing. Dug out, free ball UWS. Claude through the middle. Smith. Dug out back row by Horan. Shields to the outside swing by Saylor, and she'll get the kill. Diving attempt there by Coral Cook. Came up a little bit short. And the Cobbers have railed off 2 straight to lead at 6-4. Horan now for the Cobbers. Cook. Claude to the outside. Tipped over by Holbein. Dug out by the Cobbers. Saylor. Herring. Back row now Cook. We'll send it over for a free ball for the Cobbers this time. Back row, here comes the swing by Horan, and she'll miss the back line. Attack error on the freshman, makes it 6-5. Jackets siding out. And Gabby Schwartz, 5'9" senior from Plato, Minnesota, will check in. She'll take out Claude. Jackets playing a 6-2 here in match number 1 on the evening. And Holbein is back to serve it for the Yellow Jackets. Back row now bumped up. Far side, here's Saylor. And she'll get the kill. Top spin on that one from Saylor, the native of Fargo, North Dakota, to make it 7-5. Now Shields will go back. Also a native of Fargo. Starting setter here for Coach Faith Rademacher in her 7th season at the helm of the Concordia program, and a lefty. Her serve received by Holbein. Now going cross court on the swing. Here's Caitlin Jones, who's in for the first time. Tipped at the net. Jackets get it back. Schwartz. Jones again. Sends it over. Now Saylor will roll it. Back row. Cook. Schwartz through the middle. Here's Smith. And she got tipped at the net, and it'll be a block for the Cobbers to make it 8-5. Shields, the sophomore setter, will continue in this rotation to serve here for Concordia. Here's her serve. Holbein, Schwartz. Sent over by Smith. Short set for the middle now. Punched over, and that'll be a kill. And kill that time. Kaylee Mulvey getting the kill there for the Cobbers to make it 9-5. This is the largest lead of the set so far here for Concordia. Shields on the serve. Holbein back row. Now to the outside. Jones trying to tip it over. Got tipped at the net. Sent over now by Herring, back row. Haran to the outside. Saylor goes up the swing. Dug out by Schwartz, but it'll end up being a kill here for Concordia. And it looks like UWS will call their first time out here of set number 1.
Timeout, Yellow Jackets.
By the way, fans, can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets. Tune into Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join John Garver and me throughout the years. We sit down with Yellow Jackets student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Storm is available on uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like I said, this is the first of 10 matches over the next 2 days here at the Mertz. Backups will play the first match of each of the 2 days. 3 matches each day here on the center court, or on the main court, while there will be 2 matches each day on the secondary court, behind the main court here, as you see on your screens back at home. In the meantime, now the Yellow Jackets out of the timeout. As we come out, Betsy Schultz continues to serve here. Serve to the back row. Cook. Schwartz to the outside now. Holbein tipped at the net. Mulvey getting to that one. Now Jones will give it a shot. That one also tipped at the net. Another try here from Holbein. That one dug out by Schultz. Now sent over here. Near side. Jackets able, though, to dig it out. Now sent back the other direction by Holbein. Schultz to the outside. Here's the swing now taken, and it's going to be a kill here for Kayla Saylor. 11-5 now. The Cobbers getting out to a nice advantage here in set number 1. Jacks have had a hard time getting the rotation in order here so far in terms of getting their system ready to go. And here's the swing now by Jones, and she'll get stuffed at the net. Lauren Bangs, the 5'11 junior from Owatonna, Minnesota, getting the stuff there, and it's now 12-5. So UWS continuing to struggle here in system. Schultz will continue to serve it here. Cook. Schwartz to the outside. Swing by Holbein, and she finally ends the Concordia run with that kill. Second kill of the first set for McKenna Holbein. Bader now will return. She'll take out Coral Cook. And it's 12-6. Serve from Holbein. Horan receiving. Now here's the swing from Saylor. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets back row. Here's Bader now going up, and she'll get the kill. Sydney Bader for UWS. Brings the Jackets within 5 at 12-7. Holbein going back to the line again to serve it. And here's her delivery. Haran. Schultz. Now it'll be punched toward the Yellow Jacket back line, but she'll deflect it. Well, Addie Clemon. Not the Yellow Jacket block attempt there of both Smith and Bader to get the kill. 13-7 off the side out. And Saylor will go back and serve it herself here. Holbein. Schwartz, back set now. Here's Jones and her swing. Wide of the outside. Now 14-7. The Cobbers doubling up the Yellow Jackets here. Set number 1. Here's the serve now. Herring receiving to the outside. Here's Bader, and she'll get stuffed at the net. Mulvey with the solo block there to make it 15-7. UWS is struggling right now to get their offense going. Saylor with the serve. Bader to the middle now. Tipped over by Smith, and she'll get the kill. Got Mulvey and also Kleeman off guard with that one. And it's 15-8. Now a service error here by Sydney Smith to make it 16-8. Herring's going to come back in. Chesney Phillip back in for the Yellow Jackets as well. Alan Fitterer now for Concordia. Herring popped up by Schwartz. Jones dug out back row now by Saylor. Through the middle now, here's Haran. Dug up by UWS's Holbein in the back row. Now Bader sends it over. Now Saylor going cross court, dug up by Herring. Now dumped over by Schwartz. Dug up now back row by Fitterer. And now here's the swing by Saylor, and she'll get the kill. Concordia just has all the momentum right now, leading at 17-8. And we have a timeout now for the Yellow Jackets, their second here of set number one. Concordia has had the momentum basically from the start here of the opening set. Coach Lynn Diedrich in her 23rd season, as I mentioned, coming into today's action. .341 wins and counting now for Coach Lynn Diedrich. Going up against Faith Rodemacher, who one of the best middle hitters, in fact, in the University of North Dakota's women's volleyball history. Back when she was known as Faith Dooley. Now in her 7th season at the helm of the Concordia program. So Jackets are going to have to stage a huge rally if they're going to come back in this one. Again, long match, best 3 out of 5. But a slow start, like I said, here for UWS. Is out of the timeout now. Serve taken by Fitterer. Now here's Bader on the swing, and she'll miss the back line. Attack error on the Yellow Jackets, 18-8. And if nothing else now for the Jackets, maybe try to build some momentum for the second set. As Holland Fitterer, the native of Bismarck, North Dakota, serves this one up. Holbein, Schwartz through the middle. Here's a swing by Phillip, and she'll get the kill. Chesney Phillip with her first kill. Jackets will bring Colleen Claude back in, as well as Kate Jamtgard. And now Claude will serve here for the Jackets, down 18-9. Here's the serve. Saylor popped up. Schultz. Clemeen to the outside. Now going up, here's Bader. Saylor digging out back row. Now to the outside. Here's the swing taken, and that one will be a kill. Mallory Leitner getting the termination now for Concordia to make it 18-10, or are they going to call it for the Yellow Jackets? Looks like UWS gets the point. 18-10. My mistake. Going back now, here's Claude. Schultz. Back set. And another point here for the Yellow Jackets off the errant pass on the dig there by Kayla Saylor to make it now 18-11. Here's the serve now by Claude, and she'll send that one long and over the back line for an error, 19-11. Martini will return. She'll take out Addie Clemeen. And Martini. Back row now. Here's Bader coming through, and she'll tuck it in the near side corner. Good power on that swing. Receive the serve. Nice pass over for her former high school teammate and now college teammate, of course, Colleen Clyde, and the termination from Bader makes it 19-12. Laurel Cook will come back in for the Jackets, and she will serve here with UWS down by 7. Serve caught the tape. Well, right on the dig there by Martini. Now sent over by Claude. Free ball here for the Cobbers. Saylor. Schultz. Haran will tip it over. Free ball Jackets. Jump guard. Now the outside. Here's Holbein. And I don't think that one ever actually made it over the net. It'll be an attack error on the Yellow Jackets to make it 20-12. Woody will come back in. Leitner will check out. Serve. Cook with the errant pass. 21-12 now. 4 points away from the Cobbers taking this first set. As Woody continues from the line here for Concordia. Here's the serve. Cook. Claude to the outside. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get the kill. McKenna Holbein sides it out for the Jackets to bring them within 21-13. Herring goes back to serve. Sydney Smith back in for UWS. And here's the serve. Fitterer. Schultz to the outside. Saylor goes up. Up the line. Dug out there by UWS's Claude. Now here's the swing by Jampgard, and she'll use the block attempt of Haran to get the kill. Kate Jampgard now. In her junior season from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, makes it 21-14. And now Herring at the line. Fitterer, Schultz, Haran. Holbein now will punch it over. Now Schultz, Claude, back set, Jampgard going up, and she'll get the kill. Split the block attempt there of both Saylor and Haran to make it 21-15, 2 straight for Kate Jampgard. So the Jackets, if nothing else, giving themselves a little bit of momentum heading into set number 2. Herring serve. Schultz to the outside. Saylor dug out by Cook. Claude. Holbein with the left hand. Punched into the corner there, and it'll be a kill for Saylor. Just put it where they weren't. And the side out gives the serve back now to Concordia with the Cobbers up 22-15. Now Haran. Holbein receives for the Jackets. Claude through the middle. Here's the swing by Smith. Attack goes long, though, over the end line. Attack error on the Jackets makes it 23-15. And now Haran back to the line here with Concordia looking to take this first set. Here is the serve. Cook for the Jackets. Back set from Claude, and the swing now by Jampgard, and she'll get a kill. Jampgard having a good run here to end the first set. She'll check out as Schwartz comes back in, as does Caitlin Jones. 23-16 your tally. And here's the serve now from Schwartz. To the outside, they bump it now for Saylor. Dug out on the swing by Holbein. Now McKenna Holbein raises up, tucks it in the far side corner, and it makes it 23-17. So the Jackets showing some late life here in set number 1. Schwartz continuing from the line. Here's the serve. Martini back row. Now punched over here by Malvi. Back set. Here's the swing by Jones, and she'll get the kill. Off of Lauren Bangs. (23-18). Schwartz on the serve. Received by Saylor. Now Saylor will roll it over. Herring popping it up, and unable to get it over was Holbein. It'll be a set point now for Concordia, 24-18. And Schultz will take it herself here. Schultz's serve. Cook. And now sent over by Gabby Schwartz, kind of a line drive free ball, and the Cobbers just didn't respond to it, so it's a side out for the Jackets to make it 24-19. Bader comes back in, Cook comes out, and now Holbein for the Yellow Jackets. Her serve. Back row received by Woody. Now to the outside, Saylor. Got the tape. Herring able to dig it out. Sent over by Schwartz for a free ball. Schultz to the outside. Saylor, her swing at the line, and now it'll be tapped down for the kill. And that'll bring an end to set number 1. Concordia jumping out to a big lead, led by as many as 9 in that first set. And they end up taking set number 1 here between the Yellow Jackets and the Cobbers, and match number 1 of the 2025 Stinger Classic. 1 set in the books, 25-19 in favor of Concordia. We'll take a quick break and then come back with the start of the second set between the Yellow Jackets and Concordia. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is UWS Volleyball on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.
Trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice for y'all. Now I gotta outprice some y'all. Snake eyes and face for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hay. I'm broken the ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the balls, I'm flipping the all record, I still count wins when they got it. All record, I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. All record deals. Tell them Chuck the Collins for the quote.
The Yellow Jackets' second match of the 2025 Singer Classic presented by Subway at 7 o'clock tonight as the Yellow Jackets taking on another MIAC school in Augsburg. 7 p.m. the opening serve of that one. Yours truly, I'll be on with the pregame, such as it is, at about 6:45, 6:50 or so. At least that's the So we are back here now, again, for the start of set number 2 here between the Yellow Jackets and the Cobbers. UWS trailing it 1-0. Going back to the line here for Concordia to serve is the starting libero here, Holland Fitterer. And she floats it over the back row, received by McKenna Holbein to the outside. Now here's Kate Jamkard's swing, and she'll get stuffed. It's Haran and Addie Clemene who get the block there for the Cobbers. 1-0 your score. Here's the serve now. Taken. Yellow Jackets with a free baller from Herring. Schultz through the middle. Punched over now by Haran. Claude to the outside. Here's Jones' swing. Dug out back row, though, by Fitterer. Now Saylor I don't want to be bumped over now by UWS's Holbein. Back row now, Fitterer. Back set. There's the swing now by Clemene, and she'll get the kill. Addie Clemene makes it 2-0. Concordia in the lead. Jackets in that first set struggled in the middle portions. Never really got their foot under them. Played better as the set went along, but deficit was too big and couldn't come back from a 9-point deficit. And dropping that first set. Now here's Jones off the serve for the Yellow Jackets, is dropping it over. Now to the outside. Sent back now by Mallory Leitner as the Cobbers out of system on that sequence, and it results in a side out for UWS. 2-1 your score. Jones will go back and serve it for the Yellow Jackets. And here's her serve. Bitterer. Schiltz to the outside. Now here's the swing taken by Leitner. Dug out by Jones back row. Claude now to the far side. Here's the swing now by Holbein, and she'll miss on the near side. Went for the cross-court termination and came up empty. Concordia sides out to make it 3-1. Martini comes back in now for the Cobbers. And here's her serve. Drops it short. Jones receives it. Claude to the outside. Here's the swing now by Holbein. Tipped at the net. Claude now back set. Sent over by Jamtgard. Dug out by the Cobbers. Swing by Schiltz. Now Holbein. Martini. And Schiltz this time tried to just guide it over with the left hand. Blocked up there by Chesney Phillip for the Yellow Jackets. She gets the block to make it 3-2. Meanwhile, Sydney Bader back in. Savannah Herring will go to the line here for the Yellow Jackets. Here's her serve. Saylor on the reception. Now Horan. Ball up in the air. Now reaching up. Trying to put it down was Bader. Joust at the net. And Holbein will win it. Went over the top of Betsy Schiltz to get the kill, and it's 3-3. As Herring goes back to the line here for UWS. Herring serve. Back row received by the Cobbers. Schiltz to the outside. Here's the swing by Leitner. Dug out back row by Jones. A couple of Yellow Jackets collide. Now here's the swing by Holbein. And it'll be a point now to Concordia. 4 contacts on the Yellow Jackets. Bader and Claude, actually I think it was Bader and Jantgard that ran into each other on that sequence, so that could have been dangerous. Glad they're both all right. 4-3 in favor of the Cobbers. And it's Kayla Saylor that'll go back and serve it now for Concordia. Now first serve, Jones. Herring, bumping it up, free ball coming up as Holbein sends it over. Haran, Schiltz, back set, off balance, Haran swing, dug out far side by Herring. Now going cross court and getting it to go down for a termination is going to be McKenna Holbein for the Jackets to make it 4 apiece. Carly Lohman going to come in for the first time for UWS. We didn't see her at all in set number 1. She'll serve here. With the score now up at 4 apiece. Here's the serve. Holland Fitterer back row. Schiltz to the middle. Quick swing there by Haran. Diving dig down by Herring. Now punched over by Holbein. And now here's Leitner trying to send it over. And now it'll be a kill through the middle. That'll be Schiltz that'll get it. Lauren Bangs returns here for Concordia. As Annie Haran goes back to serve it. Holbein on the reception. Now to the far side. Here's the swing and the kill for UWS is Marina Sager. Marina Sagner, the senior from Stillwater, makes it a 5-5 contest. And here now is Holbein to serve it. Bangs on the reception. Schiltz to the outside. Saylor going back row. Dug out by Holbein. Punched over now by Lohman. In the back row now, Haran. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets and now sent over, and that one a little over aggressive on the bump attempt there from Savannah Herring. Gives the point back to Concordia. They side out to lead at 6-5. Schiltz will go back to the line to serve. Schiltz's serve. Holbein. Lohman. And that one will be a point now Yeah, they're going to call a lift on the Yellow Jackets. You can see that one from here. Lohman stepping in the center role here for Gabby Schwartz in set number 2. It's 7-5 in favor of the Cobbers. Schultz back to serve it now. Herring, Lohman. Here's the swing by Sager, and that one is wide. A little bit of a run here now by Concordia to go up 8-5. This is where the Jackets faltered a bit in set number 1. See if they can tighten it up here as Schultz at the line. Herring on the reception, bumped up now by Lohman on the outside. Here's the swing by Jones, and she'll go high off of hands to get the kill. Caitlin Jones, the transfer from St. Scholastica, brings UWS in an 8-6 contest. And now Bader will go back and serve it as Phillip comes back in. There's the serve. Schultz through the middle. Here's a swing by Bangs, and she'll get blocked by Sager. Marina Sager, the Stillwater native, makes it 8-7 on the solo block. And Bader back at the line. Bader serve. Sailor on the reception. Now she'll take a swing at it, dug out by Bader. Now Jones, and she'll send it wide. Attack error on the Jackets makes it 9-7 as Herring comes back in. She'll take out Sydney Bader. Lohman continuing, in the second setter role here for UWS this set. There's Lohman. Back set, swing now, and that one long by Marina Sager. Makes it 10-7. Sailor at the line, serving here for Concordia. There's the serve. Obine, Lohman through the middle. Here's Phillip. Dug out back row by Horan. Now near side. Here's the swing, and that one's going to be a kill for Mallory Leitner. Tucked it in between a couple of Yellow Jacket defenders. Back line to make it 11-7. So Concordia, like they did in set number 1, creating a little bit of breathing space here. And Sailor continues at the line. Here's her serve. Jones on the reception. Dumped over now by Lohman. Sent back. Jackets with a free ball. Lohman outside Jones. Tipped at the net by Bangs. Now back step from Lohman. Here's the swing by Sager. Dug out by Horan. Now Schultz. And the swing is going to be put down by Addie Kleeman. 12-7. Jackets offense breaking down a bit again. Saw this again in set number 1, and it's a 12-7 lead. Concordia had a 12-7 lead last set as well. Here's the serve. Holbein. Lohman. Swing from Jones. And it'll be a kill for Kaylin Jones. Jackets needed that one. They side out to come within 4. Claude's going to come back in. Kate Jamgard also going to return. Sager and Lohman are going to check out. Serve from Claude. Sailor, Schultz. Tipped over now by Bangs. Claude bumps it over. Free ball for the Cobbers. To the outside now, Leitner. Back row, Holbein. Claude to the outside. Here's the swing by Jones. Ball still alive. There should be another free ball. Schultz bumps it over. Herring. Claude, back set going up. Here's the swing by Jamgard. Play still alive as the Cobbers send it back. Claude to the middle now. Here's the swing by Jones, and she'll get the kill. Caitlin Jones makes it 12-9. Longest rally of the match, and the Yellow Jackets get the point. Clean Claude now for UWS at the line. Here's her serve. Horan on the reception. Schultz to the outside. Here's Leitner. First contact from Herring. Bumped over for Claude. Free ball for the Cobbers. Schultz. Outside Kleeman. Again dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Herring will bump it up. Here's the swing from Jamgard, and she'll get the kill. Kate Jamgard. The junior from Grand Rapids makes it 12-10. Colleen Claude now for the Jackets. Will get the serve. Horan passes off the mark. Sent over by Sailor. Free ball for UWS. Claude. Jamgard going with the hot hand. Tipped at the net, dug out by Haran. Now to the far side, Kleeman. Dug out by Herring. Now right back for Caitlin Jones. Her swing, and she'll get the kill. Caitlin Jones makes it 12-11, and Faith Rodermacher is going to use her first timeout of the match. With her team up by 1, 12-11. Good response here from UWS. Jackets got down 12-7 in set number 1, as you may recall. Didn't really make a run at it. Ended up falling down by 9 and never were able to come back. And dropping set number 1, 25-19. This time when Concordia got up 12-7, the Jackets have run off 4 straight. And now trail it by 1 at 12-11. Yellow Jacket fans, get the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear by visiting the Yellow Jacket Sideline Store. Browse the latest styles of gear, including shirts, shorts, sweatshirts, outerwear, and more. The Yellow Jacket Sideline Store can be found at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop. 12-11 your score here. Match number 1 of 10 over the next 2 days. Here on 2 different courts at the Mertz Superior. Glad you could join us. Glad we're indoors, by the way. The weather conditions outside of the Mertz today, less than ideal for anything outside, to say the least. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Pouring rain and a lot of wind to go with it. Very typical Superior day, I would say, for the autumn of 2025. In the meantime, as we come out of the timeout, Colleen Claude will continue for the Yellow Jackets at the service line. And here's her serve. Haran out of the timeout. Schultz back set. Kleeman with the swing. Tipped at the net by Phillip. Now to the near side. Here's the swing by Jamtgard. Dug up by Schultz. Bumped up. Kleeman now sent back to the back row by Schultz. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Now near side. Here's the swing by Caitlin Jones, and she'll get the kill for the Yellow Jackets. Evens it up at 12 apiece. So 5 straight for UWS. There's Claude's serve, and that's where the run will end as it floats outside the service line and outside the court of play to make it a 13-12 score. Fitterer comes back in now for Concordia. And here's Holland Fitterer. Jones, Claude to the middle. Here's the swing by Phillip. Dug out back row now by Saylor. Leitner goes up, her swing. Diving dig there by Colleen Claude. Now Jones, Claude, Jamtgard on the swing. Dug out by Schultz back row. Saylor, Leitner, and into the net for Mallory Leitner. Makes it a 13-all score here and a side out for the Yellow Jackets. Caitlin Jones will go back to the line for UWS. Here's her serve. And just missing the back line was Jones for the error. Kelsey Martini now returns for Concordia. Lamine will come out. And with the score 14-13, here's the serve now from Martini. Jones, Claude to the outside. Holbein goes up, tipped at the net. Claude now, Phillip sends it over, dug out. Martini, Leitner, dug out by Claude. Savannah Herring now for the Jackets. Here's the swing by Holbein. And McKenna Holbein will get the kill. Side out, 14 apiece now as Sydney Bader will return. Chesney Phillip will check out. And Savannah Herring now for the Yellow Jackets. Martini, Schultz on the slide, Haran, and her swing goes wide. And out of play, side off of the Jackets, or point to the Jackets, excuse me, makes it 15-14 in favor of UWS. Herring serve. And whoa. Caught Holland Fitterer there. Not quite sure how she wanted to play with her hands on that one. Bump position, decided to try to set it on first contact. Sets an ace for Herring to make it 16-14. Now here's the serve. Fitterer this time sorts it out. Now through the middle, here's the swing for Haran, and she'll get the kill. The assist to Schultz makes it 16-15. Rebecca Woody back in for Concordia. Valerie Leitner will check out. And here's Woody's serve. Jones. Short set through the middle, and the swing is a kill here for Sydney Bader. Claude on the assist. Bader with the termination to make it 17-15. Lohman comes back in. So does Marina Sager. Claude and Jampgard will check out for UWS. And here's Lohman's serve. Fitterer. Schultz. Swing by Haran. Tipped by Bader. Now sent over for a free ball. Lohman through the middle. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get the kill. McKenna Holbein makes it 18-15. Yellow Jackets up by 3, and another timeout going to be called here by Faith Rodermacher.
Timeout, Concordia.
Jackets trying to take this second set and even matters up at a set apiece. Talked about the fact these two teams haven't met in a couple years. An interesting lineup for the 2025 Singer Classic, by the way. St. Scholastica going to be playing 3 matches here this weekend. Also Augsburg, we talked about them being in the field. Knox College, by the way, out of Illinois, also making the trip up. Great nickname for them, the Prairie Fire of Knox College. Coming up, UW Stout also here. They will be the Yellow Jackets' opponent tomorrow morning. Bright and early, by the way, 10 a.m. to start on that one. So it'll be a early Saturday morning for those of us at Yellow Jacket TV, and also for action here at the Stinger Classic. Concordia, meanwhile, after today, they will take on Knox tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the other court, on court 2. They'll play 2 matches tomorrow. First one against Knox. And then I think they also face St. Scholastica tomorrow, although don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and look at the full schedule. In the meantime, out of the timeout, Lohman serve. The near side, here's the swing by Saylor. Good dig there by Lohman. Dug up now by Herring. From the back row, Jones punches it over. Martini on the dig. Now on the slide, here's Haran. Nice dig there by Herring. Popped up now by Lohman. Now Holbein. Now back and forth. Free ball Jackets. Bader punches it over. Ball still alive. Lohman to the outside at Holbein. Another dig, this time by Herring. Now Sager. And she'll get the kill. Marina Sager for the Yellow Jackets. Catching the Cobbers a little bit off balance at the net on that one. Gets it to drop to the court for a 19-15 Yellow Jacket lead. And now here's Lohman's serve. Fitterer. Schultz to the outside. Saylor popping it over and just found it right in the middle of the Yellow Jacket defensively. Good recognition there by Kayla Saylor to get the side out. 19-16, Jackets up by 3 as Haran goes back to serve it. Here's her serve. Holbein. Lohman back for McKenna Holbein on the swing, and she'll get the kill. McKenna Holbein. First team all-conference player a year ago for UWS, makes it 20-16. Holbein now back at the line to serve it. Martini first contact. Schultz. Bumped over now. Free ball UWS. Holbein to the outside now, tipped over. Bader dug out now by Saylor, and now here's going to be another kill here, this time by Belty Schultz, the setter, to make it 20-17. They're trading points at the moment. Schultz will go back and serve it. Woody comes back in for Concordia. Martini leaves the court, and it's a 3-point UWS lead here late in set number 2. Schultz's left-handed serve. Holbein to the outside. Here's Jones on the swing, and she'll get stuffed. Addie Clemene was there, as was Lauren Bangs for Concordia to get the stuff. It's 20-18 now. Schultz's serve. Holbein, Lohman, Sager going up. And they're going to call double contact here. Or are they going to call Saylor in the net? Either way, it'll be a Yellow Jacket point and the side out. 21-18. Sydney Bader goes back to serve it as Chesney Phillip comes back in for UWS. Here's Bader's serve. Haran. Back set now Kleeman. Back set from Lohman. Here's the swing and a kill now from Sager to make it 22-18. Bader continuing at the line. Here's her serve. Woody. Schultz. Saylor. Gets stuffed on an individual block by Chesney Phillip. That 6'3" frame coming up and making the block there to make it 23-18. Now Concordia going to make another substitution. Stella Satram checking in for the first time. And here's the serve now from Bader. Overpass going up and getting the kill is going to be, are they going to call Phillip into the net? Yeah, they're going to call Phillip as she went up to put that one down into the net. So it'll be a side out and a point now for the Cobbers. Tough luck there for the Yellow Jackets. 23-19 your score. Saylor goes back to serve it here. UWS looking to even it up at a set apiece. And right into the net with Saylor for the error, 24-19, and it's set point for UW Superior. As Claude and Jampgard come back in. Claude will go back to the line for the Yellow Jackets. And here's her serve. Leitner, Schultz, outside, Mallory Leitner swing. Dug out by Herring. Now sent over for Claude. Haran, Schultz, back set. Clemene, dug out back row by Holbein. Claude to the outside, Jones on the swing. Haran on the dig. And now they'll send it over for a free ball for the Jackets. Herring, back set from Claude, out balances Jampgard, and she'll miss the back line. She's anticipating, I think, the set going to the far side. Jampgard came in and then had to reach behind herself. Off balance, hit the ball out of play, 24-20. Still set point for UWS as Fitterer serves. Herring, Claude now to the outside. Here's Jampgard on the swing. And blocked at the net by Haran. Set point number 3 coming up at 24-21. Here's Fitterer, excuse me. Bumped up in the air, now put down, and that one with 2 hands by Haran, and now Coach Lynn Diedrich is going to take the opportunity to call timeout, I think. Or is she going to talk just to the official here, and she will call timeout. Set point number 4 coming up for UWS at 24-22. Jackets breaking down just a little bit here late in set number 2. Trying to even this one up at a set apiece. Volleyball, a sport of runs. You often hear that said, much like basketball. And UWS was able to get out to a 5-point lead late here in the set. They'll need just the 1 point here to even this up at a set apiece, but you'd like to see it done sooner rather than later here. We'll see if the Jackets can get the side out, and therefore the set victory as they come out of the team huddle. Holland Fitterer, meanwhile, will continue to serve it here. And Fitterer for the Cobbers. Back row, Herring. Claude to the outside. Jones measures it and gets the swing. And she'll get the kill. And the Jackets, following the timeout, get the kill from Caitlin Jones. And they take set number 2 by the score of 25-22. So we played 2 sets. Concordia takes set number 1, 25-19. Jackets come back and take set number 2, 25-22. And we're even up in this best of 5 between UWS and Concordia Moorhead. 1 set apiece here in match number 1 of the 2025 Stringer Classic presented by Subway. We'll take a quick break and come back with the start of the 3rd set right after this. This is UWS Volleyball here on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Matt Johnson back here at the Mertz. The set break, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, providing concrete, masonry, and design to the Twin Ports and the surrounding area. Hovland Incorporated, 218-722-1662. As we get ready to begin set number 3, a set apiece here. Concordia taking the first set, 25-19. The Jackets taking set number 2, 25-22. And UWS should be serving here to begin the third set. Match number 1 of the 2025 Stinger Classic, presented by Subway. And for full schedule on the day's events, the 2-day events, go to uwsyellowjackets.com. In the meantime, now here's Claude to serve it up. And the swing through the middle. Off the reception there from Fitterer. The swing from Annie Horan and the kill for Concordia. And the Cobbers take a quick 1-0 lead here. Early stages set number 3. Kelsey Martini going back to the line here for the Cobbers to serve it. And here's her serve. Herring. Off balance there was Phillip. Set was a little bit off there off the initial contact from Savannah Herring. Claude couldn't keep it playable, and it's 2-0 in favor of Concordia. As Martini continuing from the line here. Here's her serve. Holbein, Claude. Swing by Jamtgard, and she gets stuffed on the solo block there by Horan. The Jackets off to a slow start here in the third set, 3-0. As Kelsey Martini at the line. Herring on the reception. Claude to the outsiders to swing by Jones. And it'll go out of play. Attack error on the Yellow Jacket transfer from St. Scholastica makes it 4-0 in favor of Concordia. The UWS already digging a hole here in the early stages of the third set. Serve from Martini. Received by Holbein. Now the outside. Jones will give it another try here. Tipped at the net, dug out. Back row by Saylor. Now Leitner rolls it over. Claude bumped over by Holbein. Free ball for the Cobbers. Schultz on the slide. The swing by Horan, and she'll miss it long. Attack error, and the Jackets get their first point of the set to make it 4-1. Caitlin Jones will go back to the line for the Yellow Jackets to serve it. There's the serve. Received by Martini. Sent over by Horan. Now Holbein at the net. Joust goes up, and Phillip will win that one. Went over the top of the shorter Horan to get the two-handed kill. The 6'3" Chesney Phillip, the transfer, makes it 4-2. And here's the serve now by Jones. Back row, Fitterer. Schultz, punched over by Horan. Dug out by Jones. Back set now, Jamtgard on the swing. Tipped at the net. Sent over now by Schultz. Herring bumps it to the outside. Jamtgard with another try at it. Again, tipped at the net by Horan. Now Jones from the back row. Fitterer on the dig for the Cobbers. Now it's Leitner. Back and forth we go. It's tipped at the net again. Now punched over by Horan. Dug out by Jamtgard. Claude to the outside. Swing by Holbein. Free ball Jackets as it's sent back. Now Holbein again. Going cross court. Dug up by Fitterer. Now Leitner rolling it over. Diving dig there from Holbein. Sent over by Herring. Free ball this time for the Cobbers. Schultz, back set. Here's the swing by Horan. Tipped at the net. Now we're going to have a whistle, and they're going to call Chesney Phillip into the net. Actually, they're going to call a lift on the Jackets here. And that might be the longest route of the match. Cobbers get the point to make it 5-2 as Rebecca Woody comes back in. Woody now for Concordia. Jones to the middle. Here's the swing by Phillip. And she'll miss the far side. And back to a 4-point lead for Concordia on the attack error to make it 6-2. Woody now. Here's her serve into the net, and will be an error. Jackets side out at 6-3. Sydney Bader will come back in. Phillip will check out. Savannah Herring for the Yellow Jackets at the line. Here's her serve. Martini on the reception through the middle. Now Haran. Claude with the back row dig. Now to the outside jump guard swing, and that one will go long over the end line. Attack error makes it 7-3 as the Cobbers side out. Lauren Bangs comes back in now for Concordia. Annie Haran goes back to the line to serve it for the Cobbers. Here's her serve. Into the net for an error. 7-4 now. Back and forth we go here, siding out. Carly Lohman is going to return. Marina Sager also back in. Jampgard and Claude check out. Now Lohman. Haran. The swing here by Schultz into the net for an error with the left hand. She's tried that a few times, has Betsy Schultz. Sophomore setter from Fargo, North Dakota. 7-5 your score. Now Lohman again. Off the serve, Martini. Schultz this time to the outside. Here's the swing taken by Saylor. Ball position for the dig was Herring. Now going cross court the other direction is Holbein. That's dug out by Saylor. Now Saylor rolling it over back row. Jones. Herring. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get the kill. McKenna Holbein getting some top spin on that swing with the right hand to make it 7-6. Carly Lohman continues from the service line for the Yellow Jackets. Here's the serve. Martini, and she shanked the pass. It goes an ace, and we're tied up 7 apiece. So Jackets on a nice 4-point run here to even up the third set. That's sevens. Here's the serve now from Lohman. Schultz, back set. Here's the swing by Bangs. Up the line now. Sent over by Sager, and she'll get the kill. It was a joust there between Bader and Bangs. Ball kind of hung up around the net. Sager just sort of off balance, just kind of hit it over, just trying to keep it in play, and ended up finding the court for the point. Jackets up now 8-7. Here's the serve from Lohman. Bangs, Schultz to the outside. Here's the swing now by Saylor. Dug out by Jones, back row. Lohman, back set. Swing by Sager, and they're going to call, I think, for contact here on the Yellow Jackets. 8 apiece. Schultz back to the line here to serve it for the Cobbers at 8 apiece. And now we have a slight delay. I think there might be some condensation or maybe some moisture on the floor here. That's going to be toweled off here. Looks like Lauren Bangs for Concordia. Just moving the towel around a little bit there, right at the Yellow Jacket logo at mid-court here. Again, this is the only match of the day for Concordia. They will play tomorrow against Knox at 10 a.m. The Yellow Jackets will be back on this court in a couple hours after this first match goes final to take on Augsburg before we go final for day number 1. In the meantime, Schultz now. 8-8 your score. Here's the serve. Herring sends it over for a free ball. Now here's Bangs through the middle. Herring on a nice dig there. Lohman to the outside. Punched over by Holbein. Sent right back to the Yellow Jackets. Diving dig there by Jones. Now it's Sager. Rolling it over. Bangs. Sent over by Woody. Lohman. Here's the swing now by Sager. Schultz. Back set. Clemene. Dug out back row now by Lohman. Here's the swing now by Holbein. And that'll be a kill. The Yellow Jackets will take the lead at 9-8. Everybody was out of system in that sequence, but the Jackets get the point, and Holbein, the sophomore, will go back and serve it for UWS, looking to build on a 9-8 lead. Holbein serve. Woody, Schultz. Saylor on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Kayla Saylor, ties it up at 9 apiece. Woody checks out. Maria Leitner comes back in. And Sailor's at the line here to serve for Concordia. Herring, Lohman, Jones sending it over short. Bangs, Schultz. Leitner goes up and she'll get the kill. Went off the hands high there of UWS's Sydney Bader to get the kill, did Mallory Leitner. Concordia retakes the lead now at 10-9. Sailor for the Cobbers. Herring. Bumped outside by Holbein. Sent over by Jones. Schultz. Backset Clemene, and she'll rise high and get the kill off the hands of Caitlin Jones to make it 11-9. Sailor with a 2-point lead. Serving it. Bader. Backset Lohman. Here's the swing by Sager, and she'll get the kill. Using the block attempt of Leitner and Bangs on the far side to get the termination. And Phillip is going to come back in. Sydney Smith actually is going to come in for the first time here in the third set. WS down 11-10. Bader at the line to serve it. Sailor, Schultz, Clemene punching it deep, and she'll get it inside the line, and another kill, just finding the corner where the Yellow Jackets weren't to get the side out to make it 12-10. Holland Fitterer back in now. Fitterer serve. Holbein. Lohman bumped over by Jones. Popped up. Leitner goes cross court and misses it by about 6 inches, going for the cross court termination. Side out makes it 12-11. Claude comes back, as does Kate Jamtgard. Sager and Lohman will check out. Claude serve. Schultz, backset Clemene. And Addie Clemene gets the kill. The assist to Betsy Schultz makes it 13-11 in favor of the Cobbers. Two teams trading points at the moment. Martini back in now for Concordia. Here's the serve. Herring. Claude. Sydney Smith on the swing, and she gets the kill. Sydney Smith makes it 13-12. Caitlin Jones now steps up to the line for the Yellow Jackets. Sailor, Schultz on the slide. The swing by Horan. Dug out back row now by Jones. Now Holbein. Spun it right into the net for an attack error. 14-12. Woody in the serve now for the Cobbers. There's their serve over the top, and straight ace that time. Miscommunication in the back there between Jones and Herring. Lynn Diedrich off the bench now talking to her team. 3-point lead here for Concordia, set number 3. 15-12. As Woody at the line. Here's her serve. Jones, Claude. Big swing there by Jamtgard, but she'll get stuffed by Horan. Solo block for the name of Moorhead, Minnesota. 16-12 your score, and a timeout going to be called here by the Yellow Jackets and head coach Lynn Diedrich. Have you downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets? Get started and receive 200 points just for registering and 200 more for downloading the app. Redeem your points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. One set apiece here, although Concordia forging a little bit of an advantage here. Midway stages, set number 3. Again, stick with us. We have volleyball on both courts here. Middle match, by the way, on the main court here. I will not be bringing you play-by-play for that. We will have the camera feed, however. On court number 2, the teams warming up at the moment are St. Scholastica and UW Stout. They're scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Matches today on the courts scheduled for 3, 5, and 7. There's matches tomorrow on courts 1 and 2, 10, noon, and 2 o'clock. Before we close out the 2025 edition of the Stinger Classic. In the meantime, the Yellow Jackets now out of the huddle. Trailing it by 4. As Rebecca Woody, the sophomore from Farmington, Minnesota, continues to serve here for the Coppers. Here's her serve. Jones back row on the reception. Claude Holbein over the top, dug out back row. Now here's a swing, and that one's going to be a kill for Saylor. Saylor on the kill. Schultz with the assist to make it 17-12 in favor of Concordia. Woody at the line. Jones, Claude. Smith going up, tipped at the net. Follows up, diving dig there by Fitterer. Sent over, Jackets out of system now as Holbein has to just play it over for a free ball for the Coppers. Schultz on this slide now, Turan. Dug out back row. Now it's the cross-court swing from McKenna Holbein, and she'll get the kill to make it 17-13. It's a big swing there from the sophomore to side out for the Jackets, bring them within 4 as Bader comes back in. Smith checks out. And Savannah Herring will go back and serve for the Yellow Jackets. There's her serve. Back row. Martini to the outside. Now here's the swing by Saylor, and it rolls out of play. Went off of the block of the Yellow Jackets. Spun along the tape and then fell out of play. Advantage Concordia, 18-13. Annie Horan now at the line. Here's her serve. Jones, Claude through the middle. Here's the swing going high off block there for Sydney Bader, and she'll get the kill. 18-14. Carly Lohman back in. As is Marina Sager. Here's the serve. Martini, Schultz. Punched over by Saylor. And the Jackets not ready for it. End up playing it out for a Concordia point. 19-14 now, back up to a 5-point lead. Betsy Schultz now will go back and serve it. Here's her serve. Holbein. Lohman to the outside. Here's the swing by Sager. And it'll be a kill for Marina Sager. Sides out, 19-15, although the Jackets are going to have to start stringing together some points here later in set number 2 as McKenna Holbein goes back to the line. Holbein serve. Woody, Schultz, Flamine, sent back by Herring. Free ball for Concordia. Schultz. Back set, here's the swing from Woody, and that's into the net. Attack error on the Cobbers makes it 19-16 as Holbein continues to serve for the Jackets. Here's Holbein's serve. And Bangs came over and tried to receive that one as Saylor was ready for it, and it ends up being an ace for McKenna Holbein, and now a timeout going to be called by Coach Faith Rodermacher. 19-17 now your score. A back and forth affair the last couple of sets here. Concordia got to a big lead in set number 1. Led by as many as 9, ended up winning at 25-19. Jackets led by as many as 5. In set number 2, took the set 25-22. And as we come down to the later stretches of set number 3, it's 19-17 in favor of the Cobbers. I'm out of the timeout here. Concordia still leading it by 2. Holbein at the line. And McKenna Holbein's serve. Saylor this time will receive it. Punched over now by Bangs. Diving dig there by Carly Lohman. That was a swing on the right side by Jones. Dug up by the Cobbers. Now punched over, and that one will go wide. Jackets have come almost all the way back now. Only down by 1 at 19-18 as Holbein looks to her bench before she serves this one up. Saylor. Schultz back set now Clemene. Cross court swing. Dug out by Lohman. Popped up. Holbein from the back row with the swing. Horan on the dig. Schultz to the outside. Here's a swing by Saylor. Dug out by UWS's Herring. Now Jones sends it over. Horan with another dig. To the far side, Saylor on the swing. Dug out by Holbein back row. Now Jones punching it over. Now sent back. Free ball Yellow Jackets. Lohman to the middle. Here's the swing by Sydney Bader, and she'll get the kill, and we're tied up 19 apiece. Sydney Bader's had a good match here for the Yellow Jackets. Two-sport athlete here at UWS, also a member of the women's basketball team. As here's the serve from Holbein. Saylor, Horan. And that one will go long and out of play, and it's 20-19. Now the Jackets have come all the way back to take the lead as we come down the stretch in set number 3. Serve from Holbein. Bangs. Schultz. Nobody there on the slide, so bumped over by Clemene. Free ball Jackets. Lohman. Jones rising up with the swing. Dug out by Concordia. Punched over now by Saylor. Diving dig there by Lohman. Now sent over by Bader. Another free ball for the Cobbers. To the outside, Saylor on the swing going cross court. Herring gets there to dig it out. And now punched over by UWS's Jones, and she'll get the kill. Caitlin Jones makes it 21-19 in favor of UWS. And Faith Rodemacher going to call another timeout, and the Jackets, after being down by 4 at 16-12, have now run off 9 of the last 12 points, and they lead it by 2 at 21-19. Again, a game of runs. Yellow Jackets right now with the momentum. They've run off 4 straight, by the way, since the timeout by Rodemacher. Two-point UWS lead. Jackets looking for win number 8 on the season. Concordia looking for their 3rd win. Jackets have already played 12 matches this year. And a very nice weekend at the UW Lacrosse Invitational last weekend. Went 3-1 on the weekend. Their lone loss to the host school, that being UW Lacrosse. UWS now breaking the huddle, leading it by 2. McKenna Holbein, who's been serving during this run for the Jackets, still at the line. And here's her serve. Woody on the reception. Bangs will tip it over. Left it short. Diving attempt there at the dig there by UWS's Jones after Lohman made contact. Unable to do so, and finally Concordia gets the side out. 21-20 now your score as Kayla Saylor goes back to serve it here for the Cobbers. Here's her serve. Jones, Lohman, Sager going up. Her swing, dug out, back row. Free ball Jackets as Bangs knocks it over. Lohman through the middle. Here's a big swing taken by Bader, and that will give the Yellow Jackets the side out and a 2-point lead at 22-20. Now Sydney Bader will go back to the line to serve for UWS. Here's the serve. Horan. Schultz. Bangs. And she'll get the kill near side. Side out for Concordia makes it 22-21. Holland Fitterer back in now for the Cobbers to serve. Here's her serve now, Holbein. Lohman. Swing by Jones. Play at the net. Now Jones goes up again. Top spin goes right through the hands of Fitterer. Saylor is there. It'll be a free ball for the Jackets. Herring Lohman, Smith. And Sydney Smith will get the kill. 23-21. Claude and Jamkard come back in. Lohman and Sager check out. And Claude will serve it. Colleen Claude for the Yellow Jackets. Back row Sailor. Schultz to the middle. Horan hanging in the air, and she'll get the kill. 23-22. Martini comes back in. Kelsey Martini on the serve now for Concordia. Herring. Claude bumping it up. Jones measuring it. Going cross court. Dug out by Sailor. Schultz to the outside. Leitner on the swing. Gets stuffed at the net by Smith. And the Jackets now have set point at 24-22. Caitlin Jones will go back and serve for UWS. And Jones on the serve. Martini. Schultz bumped over. Free ball UWS. Claude going up. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she gets stuffed by Horan. And now it's set point number 2. 24-23. Jackets up by 1. Rebecca Woody comes back in to serve now for the Cobbers. Right down to the wire here in set number 3. Here's the serve from Woody. Jones. Claude. Holbein tipped at the net. Claude. Here's the swing by Smith, and she'll get the kill. Smith with the termination, the assist to Colleen Claude, and the Jackets come back from a 16-12 deficit to take set number 3. UWS 25, Concordia 23. Jackets take a 2-1 lead. And with that, we'll take a quick break and come back in a couple minutes with the start of set number 4 between the Yellow Jackets and Concordia. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS Volleyball on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Back here at the Mertz, match number 1 of the 2025 Singer Classic, presented by Subway. Yellow Jackets leading it 2-1. Concordia taking set number 1 if you're just joining us, 25-19. Jackets have taken the last two sets, 25-22 and 25-23. As we head down now into the fourth set, UWS will take a break after this first match against Concordia, regardless of how it turns out. And then they will close out the evening by playing Augsburg here on the main court. Tentative start time there, 7 p.m., but almost always, especially in the third match of the day, things get pushed back a bit. So stick around for that, though. You might just want to keep the stream going so you can see what's happening. In the meantime, on court 2 right now, UW Stout and St. Scholastica are warming up. They will play match number 2 here. On court number 2, that's scheduled to start in about a half hour or so. While Augsburg will play Knox on this court after the conclusion of this match between the Yellow Jackets and the Cobbers. In the meantime, we begin, like I said, with set number 4 now. Concordia will serve first. It's Holland Fitterer for the Cobbers that is standing at the service line to begin this fourth set. Sorry, I haven't been able to get my live stats to work, folks. That's why I haven't been able to give you any numbers here so far. Here in match number 1. In the meantime, Fitterer will serve. And right off the bat, Sydney Smith starting out the fourth set the way she ended the third set with a kill off an assist from Colleen Claude. 1-0 Yellow Jackets in the lead. Caitlin Jones now for the Jackets goes back to the line to serve it. Here's Jones' serve. Fitterer misplayed the serve. It'll be a serve now, service ace technically for Jones to make it 2-0 in favor of UWS. Jones for the Yellow Jackets. Saylor. Here's the set now through the middle. Horan on the swing. Tipped at the nets. Herring will bump it to the outside. Here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get stuffed over there by Addie Kleeman. (2-1) your score. Kelsey Martini comes back in for Concordia. Here's her serve. Jones back row. Claude to the outside. Holbein pushes it over, and that'll result in a kill for the sophomore from Holdingford, Minnesota, to make it 3-1. Sydney Bader will come in. She will take out Sydney Smith. Savannah Herring to the line will serve for the Yellow Jackets. Herring serve. Fitterer. Schultz. Coming through is Horan, and she'll get the kill. The freshman Annie Horan makes it 3-2 on the side out. Woody comes back in. Mallory Leitner checks out. Early stages, fourth set. Jackets up 2-1. And here's Rebecca Woody now for Concordia. Her serve right through the hands of Savannah Herring for an ace. And we're tied up 3 apiece. Woody still at the line here. And here's the serve. Herring this time finds Claude. Here's the swing now with the left hand, and that one at the line, jousts at the net. Now near side, here's Saylor, and she'll get the kill. By the way, the Jackets now have checked in Kendra Peterson for the first time, freshman from Mounds View, Minnesota. And it's 4-3 in favor of Concordia. Woody serving it up here. And here's her serve. Herring, Claude, punched over now by Bader. Saylor on the dig. Now Saylor will take the swing, and she'll miss the near side. It'll be an attack error on the Cobbers. Side out Jackets at 4-4. Lohman and Sager going to come in. Peterson going to check out for the Jackets, as is Claude. Here's a serve now from Lohman. Free ball Jackets as it comes over. Jones. Lohman dumping it. Diving dig attempt there by Fitterer comes up empty, and the Jackets take the lead 5-4. Diving attempt there by Fitterer. Wasn't expecting the dump there from Lohman. Heady play there by the Yellow Jacket setter to make it a 5-4 contest, and now here's the serve from Lohman. Fitterer will bump it over now. Free ball for the Jackets. Jones. Lohman swinging his Bader. Tipped at the net. Lohman Back set this time for Sager, and she'll get the kill. Marina Sager for the Jackets makes it 6-4. Hitting it right in the middle of that Concordia defense for the kill. And now the serve here from Lohman drifts long. Error on UWS. From the service line makes it 6-5. Now Annie Horan for the Cobbers goes back to serve it up. Here's the serve. Back row received by Holbein. Lohman to the outside. Tipped over by Sager. Dug out by the Cobbers. Near side now here's Saylor going cross court. Herring with the dig. To the outside, here's the swing by Holbein, and she'll get the kill. McKenna Holbein makes it 7-5. She'll go back to the line here for UWS. Stella Satram back into the contest here for Concordia. Didn't see her last set. Saw her in set number 2. As Holbein serves it, Horan, Schultz, bangs. Tipped to the net there by Bader. Now Satram got the tape, but it's dug out nicely by Bader. Back set now, here's Sager on the swing. Dug out by Horan, back row. Satram now going up. Dug out by Herring. Lohman. Jones on the swing, and she'll use the block attempt there of Lauren Bangs to get the kill. Will Caitlin Jones. 8-5, the Jackets up by 3. McKenna Holbein for UWS. Floating it over. Martini. Satram punches it over, and that's an error to the far side. Jackets now have their largest lead of set 4 at 9-5. Holbein serving again. Martini, Schultz on the slide at his bangs. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Now Jones goes up, goes cross court. Dug out, free ball UWS. Lohman. Sent over now by Bader. At the line by Martini. Satram now punching it over. Sent over by Lohman. Back row Horan. Short set through the middle for Bangs. Dug out by Sager. Sent over now by Bader. Back and forth we go. Now Satram's swing is tipped at the net and out of play, and it'll be a Yellow Jacket point here. UWS doubling up Concordia here in the fourth set, 10-5. Kayla Saylor will come back in. Satram will check out. Holbein at the line. Here's her serve. Back row Martini. Saylor going up. And the block attempt there by Bader, but it'll go out of play. Got good hands on it, but it went out of play. Kill there for Kayla Saylor makes it 10-6. And Schultz goes back to serve here for Concordia. Left-handed serve now comes back row. Holbein, Lohman to the outside. Here's Jones rising up. And she'll get the kill for the Yellow Jackets. Caitlin Jones. Outside hitter from Bloomer, Wisconsin. Of course, talked about it. Spent last year, her freshman year at St. Scholastica. Or transferring across the bridge to play for the Yellow Jackets. Her kill makes it 11-6. Here's Bader's serve, and it is just long. For the error, 11-7 your score. Mallory Leitner will check back in. Rebecca Dunwoody will check out here for Concordia. Meanwhile, Saylor will go back to the line for the Cobbers to serve it. There's the serve. Herring. Lohman. Here's the swing by Sydney Smith, who's back in, and she gets the kill. Sydney Smith. 12-7 now your score. Claude coming back in, as is Kendra Peterson for the Yellow Jackets. Sager and Lohman will check out. Claude serve. Back row, received by Saylor to the outside. Now Bangs on the swing, and she'll get the kill. Lauren Bangs, the middle hitter from Owatonna, makes it 12-8. Holland Fitterer back in, she'll serve. There's the serve. Holbein, Claude, Smith. Dug out by Fitterer. Schultz to the middle. Here's the swing by Horan, and she'll get the kill. Annie Horan makes it 12-9 off the assist from Betsy Schultz. Fitterer at the line. Herring. Claude to the outside. Jones had a double clutch, Ball still alive. Jones punching it over. Now Schultz to the middle. Punched over by Horan. Dug out by Claude. Peterson going up. She gets stuffed at the net. Play still alive. Sent over now by Jones. Back row. Schultz. Leitner. Dug out by Claude. Herring. Bump it up. Big swing from Holbein. And it's going to be long. Just missed the back line to McKenna Holbein. 12-10 now your score. And we have some moisture on the floor again. He cleaned up here by Kayla Saylor of Concordia Moorhead. One of the MIAC schools here this weekend, the other being Augsburg. WS has seen a lot of MIAC schools so far this season. They've played St. Kate's already, also Hamlin, and also St. Mary's. The Jackets kind of making a tour of the MIAC here in non-conference play this year. Here's the serve now from Fitterer. Claude through the middle. Here's the swing from Smith. Dug out back row. Now with Saylor. There's the swing by Leitner. Dug out by Herring. Pushed over by Claude for a free ball. Schultz now. Bump set near side. Here's Leitner, and she'll punch it long and out of play. And it'll be a point for the Yellow Jackets. Concordia wanted to tip at the net. None forthcoming. Point will go to the Yellow Jackets at 13-10. And right now Schultz is over there talking to the up ref. And not going to get the benefit of the doubt here. So the Jackets side out to lead it by 3. Caitlin Jones will go back to the line to serve for UWS. Jones' serve. Fitterer. Schultz bumping it up. Clemene on the swing, and she'll miss it. Get the linesman on the far side with the shot. 14-10. Jackets back up by 4. Caitlin Jones will continue here from the line. Here's Jones' serve, and that's going to be a straight-up ace. Knuckleball there from Caitlin Jones makes it 15-10. Diving attempt by Fitterer came up short. UWS now up by 5, largest lead of the set. Here's the serve again from Jones, and back-to-back aces as she tucks that one over inside the end line. 16-10 your score, and a timeout going to be called here by Faith Rodemacher and company. With UWS up 16-10 here in the 4th set from the Mertz. Trying to see if my live stats have started working or not. I'm not sure they are or not. Jackets had a sleepy start to this match. Definitely out of their rhythm in the first set. Well, my live stat's still not working, so just going to have to continue on as is for now. Hopefully I'll get some stats in between this match and the Augsburg match tonight that's, again, scheduled to start at 7. Jackets breaking the huddle here. Jones has had a nice run here at the service line. She was actually the leading hitter for St. Scholastica a year ago, was Caitlin Jones. Led them in kills for the season under head coach Chelsea Morato, before transferring across to spend this sophomore campaign with the Yellow Jackets. As we come out of the huddle now. Jackets up by 6 at 16-10. And here's Caitlin Jones' serve. Fitterer back row. Back set from Schultz. Here's the swing now by Clemene, and she'll get the kill. Addie Clemene stops the run. Side out for the Cobbers, brings them within 16-11. As Kelsey Martini returns, Clemene will check out. And Martini serves this one up. Herring on the reception. Claude through the middle here, hanging in the air. Here's the swing from Smith. Dug out by Saylor. Now tried to be tipped over by Leitner. Schultz, left-handed swing herself from the center position. Dug out by the Yellow Jackets. Cross-court try now by Holbein. Dug out by Leitner. Now Mallory Leitner's swing, and that one will go long and over the back line for an attack error. Side out for the Yellow Jackets. 17-11. Jackets now up by 6. Herring goes back to serve. Smith checks out for UWS. Sydney Bader back in there for UW Superior as well. Here's the serve. Fitterer on the reception. Schultz, now Haran. Dugout back row by Herring. Back set from Claude. Now here's the swing by Peterson, and she'll get stuffed by Haran. Annie Haran on the block makes it 17-12. Rebecca Woody back in now for Concordia. Here's the serve. Herring, Claude. Peterson on the swing, and she'll get the kill back row. Kendra Peterson getting on the board for the Yellow Jackets. Makes it 18-12 on the side out. Lohman comes back in. Peterson and Claude will check out. Sager and Lohman both back in. And Carly Lohman now will serve from the line here for the Jackets. And she'll get a service ace there, tucking it inside. And the diving attempt there by Kelsey Martini to keep the play alive came up short. 19-12. Jackets now up by 7. Can they close this out in 4? Lohman on the serve again. Woody, Schultz, Haran on the swing, tipped at the net. Herring on the dig. Back set now from Lohman. Here's the swing now by Sager, and that one will go long. Attack error on the native Stillwater makes it 19-13. Side out, Haran will go back and serve now for Concordia. Here's her serve, and that one well out of play for an error to make it 20-13. Jackets 5 points away now as McKenna Hobein will go back and serve for UW Superior off the side out. Here's her serve. Haran on the reception. Schultz punches it over, dug out by Lohman. Herring. Now Jones on the approach. Dug out by Haran. Now near side, here's the swing from Saylor. Dug out by UWS. Lohman. Popped over now by Sager. Kept alive. Now Saylor will tip it over. Dug out by Lohman. Herring on the back line. Now here is Holbein getting the swing. Ball still alive. It'll be a free ball for UWS as it's punched over by Schultz. Herring. Sager on the swing, and that one will go long. Side out for the Cobbers. Schultz goes back to the line. (20-14) your score. Here's the serve. Herring. Lohman. Jones hanging in. She'll tuck it inside the far side for the kill. Caitlin Jones makes it 21-14. Smith comes back in. Sydney Bader will go back and serve for UWS. Here's the serve now from Bader. Sailor's approach. Dugout back row by Holbein. Now Marina Sager bumped up in the air. Lohman. Jones at the net now. Joust going on, and it'll be put down here by Addie Clemene. For Concordia, 21-15. Leitner comes back in. Woody checks out. And now Saylor to the line here for the Cobbers to serve it. Free ball now for Concordia as it comes over, and then they have to give it right back to the Jackets, and it's a ball handling error for the Cobbers. They'll give the point to UWS, 22-15. Claude comes back in. Peterson also back in. Lohman and Sager check out. Colleen Claude, senior setter for the Jackets, will go back and serve it. Here's the serve. Haran. Schultz to the middle. Clemene. And that'll be a point for Concordia. Nobody could sort themselves out the net on that one. Bounced around a little bit. And the Jackets off bounds. End up surrendering the point to Concordia to make it 22-16. Here's the serve from Fitterer. Jones popped up now by Claude. Jones will just play it over. Saylor, Schultz, back set, Clemene. And she gets blocked on the solo effort there by Sydney Smith to make it 23-16. Jones going back to the line here for UWS, 2 points away from victory here. Here's the serve. Fitterer, Schultz, Leitner. Tipped over, off the dig by Jones, by Peterson, and it ends up being a kill for the freshman, and now it's match point for UWS. 24-16 here. I have a brief post-game recap, sponsored by Synovus Energy once we go final. Jones, and this time under-hit it into the net. Side out for Concordia makes it 24-17. Clemene will check out. Martini will come in and serve. Here's the serve from Martini. Herring. Obine. Peterson going up. Tipped at the net. Claude. Smith through the middle with the swing. Dug out by Fitterer. Now at the net. Punched over by Leitner. Herring. Obine going up, and she'll get the kill, and the Jackets take set number 4, 25-17 in the match by the final of 3-1 as we jump into our post-game recap. Before we go off here, we'll take about a 2-hour break, by the way, in between matches for the Yellow Jackets. Post-game sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. Synovus Energy, re-energize the world to make people's lives better. Jackets taking it 3-1 here, and match number 1 of the 2025 Stinger Classic presented by Subway. UWS a little bit sleepy to start. Actually got down 17-8 in set number 1. Never really found their footing, and they ended up losing it 25-19. But the Jackets take the next 3 sets. UWS got a 5-point lead at one point in set number 2, end up holding off a late Concordia run to take it 25-22. Then it was nip and tuck basically all the way in set number 3. Concordia at one point actually led that set 16-12, but the Jackets came all the way back. They end up winning the set 25-13, and then the Jackets pulling away in set number 4 for the 25-17 victory. With the win, the Jackets now 8-5 on the season. Concordia drops to 2-6. Up next for the Yellow Jackets will be their second match of the day here at the 2025 Stinger Classic presented by Subway. They'll be taking on Augsburg. Tentative start time there 7 p.m., although I doubt we'll get going that quickly, depending, of course, on how fast Augsburg and Knox play here on this court. In their match, that'll be the third match of the Stinger Classic here. Again, 10 matches over the next 2 days. We'll only be bringing you play-by-play for UWS's matches. They have 4 of them. This one, of course, against Concordia, tonight against Augsburg, and then tomorrow against UW Stout in St. Scholastica before the weekend closes out. But the Jackets taking the first match here of the 2025 edition of the Stinger Classic. Again, 3-1, your final score. Big thank you to Alicia Shiltowski, and along with a couple other people that were actually my engineers over here. People was kind of a rotating basis over here as far as my producers go. But we have our full squad here from Yellow Jacket TV all weekend, so we'll be bringing you all the matches, although only play-by-play for the Yellow Jackets matches. So stick around if you're a fan of either Knox or Augsburg, as well as that will be match number 2 here on the main court here at the Mertz. So stick around, more volleyball coming up. In the meantime, the Jackets, like I said, 8-5 overall. We'll take about a 2-hour break from play-by-play, and then we'll come back with the Yellow Jackets and Augsburg in a couple hours. Until then, this is Matt Johnson signing off. But stick around. Continuing coverage of the 2025 Stinger Classic comes up here on this main court. There'll be Augsburg and Knox coming up in about a half hour. This has been Yellow Jacket Women's Volleyball on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.